Hello, Cancer. This is your reading for January 2026. My name's Kathleen. If you're new here, I do things a little bit different. I interact with spirits and I get psychic impressions from the images on the cards. So I don't necessarily follow the meaning that may have being predestined for the card or whatever. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you so much for returning. So I meditated a few days ago and was told to do this setup for this month's readings. And so the card up top is from the Waite tarot deck, and that represents you for the month of January. And then the rest of the reading, which is just the normal monthly reading I do, is from the Wisdom of the Oracle Divination cards. Okay, so the card that represents you this month is the Six of Cups. So there's a sense here of giving, and I know that holiday seasons have just passed for people, and so there might have been a lot of giving during the holidays, but there's more giving this month. But it feels kind of mixed. It feels like in some cases you want to continue giving, but in other cases it's a little twisted, like you're being forced to give. You don't really want to, but people are guilt tripping you, people are taking advantage of you, are sort of forcing you, pushing you into giving to them. Like they are expecting and demanding things from you. And it does feel like it's a lot of material things. I know that cups can represent emotions, but I think in this case, it's like your emotions are hurt when you're being forced to give, when it's being demanded of you, and that I think might, for some of you, might be the overwhelming feeling for the month of January, is that you are being used, you're being taken advantage of, you're even in some cases it's abusive, the amount of pressure that they put on you, um, because they try to make you feel bad if you don't give to them, um, as if you owe them. So yeah, I mean, but I don't get that for all of you, because there is a feeling here of just continuing to give because that's your nature. And so for some of you, it's going to be pleasant, continuing to give to others and helping others. And this not necessarily material. This can also be volunteering, helping out in other ways, right? Okay, Spirit said to move on to the reading. So the first card we have here for you is Time to Go. So I don't know if you can see, if it's like a doorway sort of in the distance, which has kind of a bird cage feeling to me. So this kind of goes with the first card, because this really feels like your energy, and it feels like you kind of want to get out of this trap. You don't like other people sort of taking advantage of you and pushing you. I think while it's happening, you don't want to rock the boat, so you go along with it, but then later on you regret it or resent having to cater to these demanding people. And so It's like she's come to the end of the deck, and there's a space before this door or bird cage. And so there's this hesitation of not knowing, if I continue, am I going to end up trapped in the bird cage, or is there going to be a door there that I can walk through? So there is this hesitation, maybe even a fear of stepping off the end of the pier here into the unknown. Um, and so you sort of keep yourself stuck in what you know, even if you don't like what's happening, you remain there, too afraid to move beyond or change what is known. Um, and so that's something you're going to have to really take a look at. If you continue, if you remain where you are and you continue to allow people to take advantage of you, to harm you, you're already in that birdcage. You're already trapped. So the thing is do you want to free yourself? To truly free yourself? Or are you going to remain stuck? And if you're able to free yourself, if you can get to the place where you say, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be treated like this anymore. I haven't done anything. There's no reason for me to be treated like this. Then make the decision and move forward. And then you can go through the door. So yeah, it can be scary not knowing what exactly you're going to move into. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? You know, and that's up to you if you want to take that chance. But are you truly happy where you are now? So just take a look at that for the month of January, right? Take the time to reevaluate what's happening in your life. And this feels more like relationships with family, friends, the people around you, acquaintances. Who is actually worth your time? Who is actually there for you, and who is there for themselves? Who's helping you? Who's on your side? Who's working with you? And who's just taking from you? And figure that out. You know, I mean, there should be give and take in all relationships, but there are people that will just take and will not give in return, or they expect too much. So yeah, just take a look at that. Okay, Spirit said to move on to the next card. And we have Never Ending Story. So sorry, but again, it feels like your energy that you're stuck, you're stagnating, you're kind of trapped in a place that you're not totally happy being in. Maybe you overdid it over the holidays. Maybe you gave too much of yourself and you have nothing, you know, you didn't get as much in return, or you've just totally drained yourself and you have no reserves left, right? You have nothing on reserve. So it just really feels like you really need to evaluate where you're at in your life. Who are the people around you? You know, are you giving too much of yourself in hopes that they're going to stay in your life? Do you have to bend over backwards for them? Are they giving you the same respect? Are they giving you the same emotional value in return? Or are they just using you and then going off doing their own thing? You know, maybe in some cases cheating on you because you'll always be there. It doesn't matter what they do, you'll be there for them. That's not fair to you. So take a look at that if you're in that type of situation, and see how that's playing out. And just it really feels like self-evaluation. It's not so much, that you're judging others, but you need to learn or know, am I being treated equally for how I treat others? If I treat someone really good and they treat me like crap, why do I continue to treat them good? And I'm not saying you should treat them like crap, but that you should I just don't want you in my life anymore. You are just a waste of my time, right? So take a look, and try to work on your self-awareness, and where you stand, and are you treating yourself well? Because if you're allowing others to harm you, you're not treating yourself very well. And it's really hard to continue to give, to continue to be a good person when you yourself are just completely drained and depleted of every resource that you have. Okay, so again, Spirit said move to the next card. So we have To the Sea. Again, there's a lot of energy from these cards. It just feels like you alone, you on your own, you needing to take time for you. So really try to do that in January. Um, Try to have some time alone. Try to get away on your own if you can. If you can't get away on your own, try to isolate yourself, right? Like if you live in a home with others, see if they can't go out, they can't go do things, and shut yourself away, and just, it really feels like you really need to regenerate, recuperate, re-energize, because there's just such a feeling here of just being depleted emotionally, and perhaps, in other ways, physically, financially, and just really needing to assess, do you have the right people in your life? Are you happy with how you're treating yourself? Are you happy with where you are in your life? And you may have come a long way. You may have made a lot of changes in the past. You may be doing far better than you used to, but it looks like there may still be work to be done, right? I mean, that's what life is. We're constantly working to try to improve. So, yeah, it just feels like, and it's like, it doesn't, I don't feel despair. There may be like a sort of a look of despair here. It just feels like exhaustion to me, and that you really need to take some time alone because others have just drained you so much. Okay, so Spirit said last card, and we have Observer. So yeah, again, this feeling of you assessing, taking a look at all of the people in your life, your neighbors, your family, your friends, the people who share your home, um, people at work, just everybody, right? Sort of everyone you kind of have contact with. I don't mean like someone you're walking past on the street, but those that you interact with on more than one occasion. Take a look, assess, see what's going down. See if there is an equal give and take. See if there is reciprocation, that what the emotion and love that you give, is it returned to you. Really take a look at that, and evaluate. And there may be a case where there's people that you just think that they're just a complete waste of my time, but maybe you're not in a place to completely end that relationship. So just pull back, minimize it, right? Instead of dealing with them perhaps every day, dealing with them once a week. Or, if it's once a week you deal with them once a month. I just cut back you're dealing with them, and just learn to say, No, sorry, not available. No, can't do that. No, because I find that if there's people that take advantage of others, when you say no, they will have nothing to do with you anymore and they will go find others who will say yes. And sometimes you only have to say no once and they're gone. And you didn't even have to put in that much effort. And you just, no, I'm not available for that, or no, I can't give you that. And then they're gone. And then that shows you how much you actually meant to them. And yeah, it can be really painful, but it's better that they're gone because that makes room for someone else who hopefully will treat you better, right? Hopefully. Okay, that seems to be it for your reading. Spirit said, yep. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so very much for watching.